Alright, welcome back guys. Today we're here with the new Tech Tree Tier 10 Destroyer, the Cassard. I have really been looking forward to this ship because when I was testing this ship, Wargaming definitely they've been cooking up. They've been cooking a beautiful ship up for us. A really fun destroyer, a really well balanced destroyer in my opinion. Um yeah, let's just get straight into it. This is the pinnacle of the entire line. I already did a video on Orage, and this is now on the Cassard. I may do one in the tier 8, I'm not sure. I haven't played the tier 8 yet, to be honest. I've seen the stats stuff, but I haven't played the tier 8 like in randoms. But I have played some Cassard. Now, let's get straight into the where are the comparisons? Here it is. Straight into the comparison list. Let's compare it with the Kleber, because Kleber is the OG French DD in the game for Tech Tree. So let's get into it. And honestly, they will both be able to live in the same, the same time, and they won't really encroach and like they won't cross each other. Like they won't be a problem to each other balance wise. They both have their own things going on. Um, the first thing you notice is the speed boost. I already covered this in the Cassard video, not the Cassard Orage video, and this is a very special speed boost. 25%, the strongest speed boost in the game, best speed boost, but it's only for 10 seconds and it comes back in 40. So it's basically like a stronger version of the Regolo speed boost. So yeah, unlike Orage, you get an extra usage, so you get five. Five is like almost the perfect number. Six would be ideal. Six would actually really be ideal, but five is better than four, so we'll take it. And obviously, Cassard has the variable torpedoes. No rapid reload though, so something to keep in mind. Hit points actually has more health than Kleber, which is honestly kind of funny because Kleber is the gunboat. But it does have more health. It has better damage reduction. This is overall pretty survivable DD. I'd say it's not like super healthy, but it's got a good it's got a solid HP, and it has good damage reduction, so it's survivable. Maneuverability, obviously, Kleber is just like miles better, literally miles better in speed. It's not even close. But I would argue that besides obviously max reverse speed, I would argue Cassard is just more maneuverable in every way. I know I've talked about Kleber with its, relative to max speed acceleration and how it's really good despite being a big number. Cassard's kind of a similar way. We'll see. It'll make more sense in a bit, but right now you can see the acceleration is cracked. This is really good acceleration, even for 34 knots. So yeah, cracked acceleration, incredible turn time. Well, not incredible, good turn time. Just vast improvement from working with Kleber. Let's be honest now. The guns. Now you do have 127mm guns. These are the Marceau guns. These are not the Kleber guns, and that shows in the stats. Obviously, Cassard has faster reload. It has less guns, but it has a faster reload. Obviously, Kleber is beast in every stat. But unlike Orage, we actually gain um 1% better fire chance. So we have better fire chance than Orage, which is good. That's good. Um, yeah, Torps. These are different from Kleber. Obviously, these are the variable torps, but these are very different. The max alpha is 5,324. These torps hit like trains. Um, I believe these torps actually hit harder than Shima torps. Um, Actually, we can double check this right now. I have Black Shima. Where is Black Shimakaze? Here it is. Yeah, they hit harder than Shima torps. Now you do have less of them compared to Shimakaze. That should also be said. You have less of them. Um, when you have 12 instead of 15, but 5,300 torp alpha is really good. Now, there is obviously a catch. You can only use this maximum torp damage in 4.8 kilometers or less. So if you're beyond 4.8 kilometers, it will start to gradually decrease in damage until it gets to the minimum, which is 2,400. Now, and 2,400 seems like a familiar number. That's because this is basically Holland torp damage. So even at max range, you're gonna be doing still Holland torp damage, which isn't good. But considering you have more torps than Holland, it's actually just better torp alpha than Holland at range, theoretically speaking. So that's That's pretty good. You have pretty good torque range. I mean, compared to Clipper. Clipper is garbage torque range compared to this thing. 9.6 kilometers. The torque speed is the same, 68 knots, and the flood chance is crazy. Well, crazy not in the general sense, but crazy for French DD standards. 26% is a really high flood chance for, I mean, French torps in general, really. So, really, really strong torps. They have like a 2 second slower reload, but compared to Clipper, these torps are just way better than the Clipper torps. In my opinion, they're the one of the most versatile torps in the game because you can use them at range for floods, and you can get fires with your guns because the guns are really good. You have about daring gun DPM with these guns, with better fire chance. So you can get floods and fires at range. At close range, you just decimate people with these torps. These torps have over 60k alpha if you hit all of them. Yeah, you can almost one-shot BPs at tier 10, and you can definitely one-shot some tier 9s if you hit all the torps, and it's not a too high torp damage reduction of a ship. AA, I don't really talk about AA on French DDs because it usually sucks, but Cassard has strangely enough okay AA for DD standards. Honestly, if it had like a DFA 2, it actually wouldn't even be that bad. This is just a better version of Marceau AA in my opinion because you have more AA range on the small caliber, but yeah, you can forget about the AA. I got on the clear skies already because Anakimov went for me, but you're not gonna stop yourself from this EV. Concealment. This is a big difference from Kleber. This is a very big difference from Kleber. Cassard has excellent concealment for a French destroyer, 6.36. This is if you're wondering gearing concealment. So we have gearing concealment on this ship with obviously way better firepower than a gearing. So yeah, Cassard is just stacked. Very much so stacked. I'll compare it to Marceau just quickly so we compare the guns since they are the same guns. You can see that Cassard obviously has one less turret than Marceau, so it has less DPM than Marceau, but has significantly more gun range, slightly better reload, a little less HE damage, but the fire chance is just crazy on this ship, and the main gun damage is better. So I would say Cassard is just the guns are really good on this ship. They're not Marceau levels of like DPM good, so like you're not gonna out DPM Marceau and Cassard, but I would say these guns are more versatile than Marceau's in the sense that you can actually set fires with them. And they have just way better range, so that's already like a plus. But obviously, more so is the DPM machine still. Um, yeah, so that's Cassard. Let's get into the build. Um, Standard DD equipment. I don't need to say anything about this. Um, some would say maybe actually I would say one thing. Some would say what if you run speed because it's bad base speed. I'll try it out. I don't think I really got a chance to try it out with Orage. I think Cassard would be a little more capable than Orage just because the guns are just way better than Orage. And even much more usable torp layout. Oh, I'll show the torp layout in a second, but I would still say concealment, generally speaking, especially if you're maybe not that used to playing open water, poorly concealed ships. So not that this ship is bad concealed without speed. It's still good conceal for not running conceal mod, but it's a different experience. Elite bonus. You have advanced engine. We always take advanced engine. It's not even a question. No, there is zero discussion to be had about whether you take a Legon operator or advanced engine. You always take advanced engine. The Legon operator is garbage if you're not taking if you're taking it. It's genuinely griefing your ship. If you're taking a Legon operator, I mean, I have no words for you. Don't do it. Don't fall for the bait. Oh, 3%. Well, no. Don't fall for the bait. You run advanced engine and you just move on. The reason why is in combination with the camo, which I will actually talk about this the HC first, which if you could not tell is yeah, it really doesn't change much of the ship. Standard DD buffs, which is good. If you don't have the special camo, this is great. It's still great camo regardless. In my opinion, though, the special camo is better. You lose concealment, which I will say is an unfortunate loss. I would love to have kept concealment somewhere in this camo, like instead of torp speed maybe, but max speed plus 4%. This is like just huge, first of all. This combined with advanced engine, we get the base speed of 37 knots. So we just brought the base speed up by 3 whole knots with this build without speed mod. So that's kind of why I don't also want to run speed mod because you get 5% from this and you get 4% from this So speed mod is kind of redundant at that point because you can just do all this and you can still run conceal mod because you already have your speed buffs. So yeah, I'll say this is the better camo. Also, I just think it looks really nice. I think it's the nicest looking camo out of the whole line. Um, so yeah. Commander build. We are running Rob Jujard, old reliable. Works on all the French DDs at tier 10. But he works especially well with Cassard. The main standout thing here is Swift as Wind. If you have Robert Jujard, put it on Cassard. If you even think about grinding Cassard, put it on Cassard. Put a normal commander on Kleber. Kleber can use a normal commander just fine. This ship is just a different animal when it has Jujard because going from 10-second speed boost to 20-second speed boost, that's a pretty significant change. Because you go from like maybe like 1 or 2 dodges to like 3 to 4 dodges now. You can YOLO longer. It's just such a different experience, honestly. And you get Giant Hunter Plus, which is a pretty big deal because Giant Hunter Plus on 5.3k Alpha Torps is like a lot of damage extra. So yeah. Also, like the rest of the skills sync really well. Preheating, Daredevil Plus, AR Plus. It's just great skills. So yeah, Jujar definitely running on Cassard if you have it. For the talents, just go down the red tree. This is just the Marceau side setup. I could see the argument for hide and seek. I could actually see the argument because you do actually use guns a fair bit in this ship. But in my opinion, you want speed because obviously this thing is a slow base, and especially if you don't have the special camo, you definitely want to get the speed surge because 3% speed is like that's a lot of speed for a ship that is really slow. Like we kind of get to get all the speed we can get, especially if you don't have the camo. So yeah, and obviously readiness is just made for this ship. Just get 10 torpedoes. It's like a YOLO rush, and that's it. So yeah. Um, I think I already went to that orange with the rush. I mean, I'll do it again just in case. 35 caps, 60 DDs, 90 ships, obviously 105k, so pretty self-explanatory stuff. Oh, the torpedo. I was gonna show the torpedo. Yeah, so actually, I'm gonna go use HC since it's a little easier to see with HC. Unlike Oraz, we have 2 torps on the side, 2 torpedoes on each side, like just like Kleber. Which means that you have a much better angle of attack when you're torping because you're not gonna have like one torp tube that just has like a horrible forward firing angle. Because that's what the Orage and the rest of the line had was like this one middle torp really weirdly placed middle torp. Had this like massive piece of superstructure in front of it, so it never had a good firing angles facing forward. So Cassard pretty much fixes this issue by having this torp layout. Oh, and in case you're wondering, Cassard is a real ship. It did exist in the French Navy, so that's also pretty cool that we have a real tech tree French tier 10, not like some made up ship, but it actually was real. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, let's get into the gameplay. I have 2 great games to show off for Cassard. I had a lot of fun playing this ship. So yeah, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, and here we are in the first game in Haven. There is 2 tier 9 VVs, and there is a CV involved. But no worries. Both games actually will involve CV as well, I should mention a bit. Now, some people would think, oh, it's a slow beat DD base, we gotta play central. No. Get that out of your head. This ship has to play wide. As much as it would be nice to, like, send it into mid, we're not doing that. We have no smoke, and we're also slow. So for the same reasons we can't flank, we also want to apparently go into mid. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Unless the circumstance is very specific where you actually have the ability to, wouldn't recommend going like near mid. You can take caps in this ship, like outer caps, like epicenter or like the caps on like the side of the map. I wouldn't go for like a B cap kind of play in domination, like or in this case C and B, because you don't have a way to escape. You have speed boost, but if you don't have Jujard especially, it's gonna be hard to escape. So, um, yeah, you can get caught out very easily if you're playing centrally and with no islands especially. So yeah, we're gonna go wide. With preheating plus, we're going almost 40 knots. So I think that's pretty good base speed. We brought it from 34 to about 38, which I think is a pretty drastic improvement from what we were working with. Went from like some of the worst destroyer speeds and now a solid base speed. A solid base speed. No DD out wide, which is good for us. Because that means that we can just meander around D. There's an Alsace. You see the torp angles, the firing angles are so much better. It's so much better. If you actually look back at my Horizon video, You might even see how much worse the torp angles are facing forward. So yeah. Also, gaining an extra torque tube is just like already a big deal. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention as well. The second turret of the ship is 360. For some reason, Orage doesn't have this, but the tier 7, 8, and 10 have this. So yeah, pretty big deal. So yeah, we're just gonna YOLO this Alsace. Yeah, he can't really do much. We send these torps. I mean, look how much damage. Look at that. I mean, we did 20k with those torps. Actually, we even missed 2 torps. Actually, I don't even know how. We missed 2 torps, so that would be more. That's more likely. About 30, almost a 30k drop. So yeah. And now Alsace dies because we just, stern in. We have multiple guns facing backwards, so we are pretty good kiting. And yeah, now we just throw AP into the bow, and this guy is dead. Yeah, this thing is like, this thing is a lot of fun to play when you get to YOLO. If you get to have like islands like that in Haven, and you get to one-on-one somebody, this thing can like put some seriously good damage. Even when you don't get to one-on-one somebody, this thing can still do good torp damage and gun damage. So at this point, I was like, we could either get the cap, but I was like, no, the game's gonna end otherwise. Like, we may as well just full send it into Manfred anyways and just keep moving. Yeah, this Manfred is also like completely oblivious. I don't know what this guy's doing. Bro has 0 sense of what is happening. Yeah. So this will be a free kill. Speed boosted dodge here, the auto secondaries, and yeah, that's big caliber, 94k, and yeah, we just keep moving. It's all about keep moving. Cassard has a lot of DPM at his disposal just already. Very good torps, very good guns, so you have a lot of damage to work with. And this is the more torp heavy game, as you can see. We're not doing much with the guns, really. It's more like finishing stuff off like the Alsace. But the torps are really the main star of the show for most of this game. Although, we'll get into the guns later once we get to this Iowa. I mean, even with speed boost, now that we have the talent, we're going 39 knots. That's pretty good, I'd say. I would say it's a pretty good speed to be working with in Cassard, and now with speed boost, we're going like almost 50 knots. So, yeah. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, now we just farm this Iowa. Try to show off this fire chance. You can see the gun arcs, they're a little weird. They're like kind of like Marceau shells in a way. They're like old Marceau shells. They're a little slower than old Marceau shells. I honestly think these are just more old Marceau shells pre-buff. Before like the Kleber buffs. When they got like shell speed and, dispersion. Not that Marceau guns were bad before then. I think they were perfectly fine actually, as a matter of fact. But yeah. Also, you can see the fire chance. Yeah. 5% fire chance on these guns is pretty funny. And because we have that 1-3 turret in the middle, we can just, keep swinging around and having 2 guns. We basically have 2 guns in the front, effectively, besides just shooting directly forward. The gun angles in the middle turret are really, really good. So, besides just shooting directly in front of us, we actually have really cracked angles shooting forward. So, yeah, now we're just going to keep chasing this guy. I think at some point, yeah, there we go. I was switch to AP eventually because the HE just wasn't doing enough. So, yeah, now we start switching to AP, maybe some better aiming could happen, but we got a lot of good pens. And yeah. And even though we sent the torps a long time ago, the torps don't do crazy damage at range, but they do still do damage. So definitely don't be afraid to use torps at range if you have them, because yeah, you can still 2k damage per torp. It's still damage. So yeah, that's pretty solid game. I'd say again, very torp heavy, 19 torp hits. We did use some guns at the end, but the next game will be more gun heavy. So yeah, pretty good game for Cassard. Let's get into the next game. Now this game is kind of like the culmination of basically everything Cassard can do in a game. This is a pretty fun game, I will say. This is much more enjoyable than the previous game. Previous game was more of like a casual farming game. This is more of a a little more. I don't want to say intense, but it's a bit more fast paced than the previous game we just played. Once we get it going, the beginning is a little slow, but once we get into it, it's a lot more fun. 3DD game, no cruisers. I shouldn't mention I didn't get really good footage of fighting cruisers yet in this Cassard, but you can fight cruisers. But you just have to kind of be wary because again, if you're caught out without speed boost, you are pretty easy target to hit when it comes to speed. So just be wary. But with speed boost, you can dodge like everything in the game. Like, well, not everything. You can dodge most things in the game. Because the acceleration is cracked with speed boost. You're gonna actually see later in this game what I mean by that. There is a gearing here. I don't know at the time, but there is gearing here. VBs are sitting back, kind of as I expected. Now, this gearing does not respect the guns. If you're playing against this thing, you're not playing on a heavy gunboat, you gotta respect the guns. Because these are very, very good guns. I have much better guns than gearing, and you can see he's losing this DPM fight pretty badly. Not only is he shooting HE, but like he's also just not getting good aim. Like, you can't win this DPM doing gearing. It's just not gonna happen. Even in heavy gunboats, you do have to still be watching out a little bit, because you might lose a little bit of, or a decent amount of HP to a Cassard who knows how to aim. And you obviously can't rush a Cassard easily either without at least taking some damage from torps. So, something to watch out for sure. Yeah, like I said, we can definitely push away gearing, you know. Again, you have to respect the ship. The ship is not just a torp boat, even though it is a torp-focused line. You know, I say torp-focused lightly because the guns are pretty good on this ship. And the whole line, for that matter. So, yeah. So, you have Vincent rotating here. Switch to the HE. Turn. This guy's slowing down. Send some torps this way. This torp cone is a little wide. So, it is kind of easy for someone to, like, just dodge them at range if there is a gap. Which there will be a gap because the torps are pretty wide, but you can still hit 2 torps here. No flood, but even that range, 4k at like over 4k is just great torp damage. I don't know if we hit this Schlieffen or not. Yes, we do. Now we're gonna send torps here. Now we're gonna go around the rock. I might have been able to turn around, but I didn't want to risk just taking an HE Vincent salvo and like losing like 70% of my HP for no reason. So. This would do. And there he goes. First strike. Maybe if I had green talent, I could have had an extra speed boost, but I 3% speed is 3% speed. I think 3% speed is like quintessential to the ship and how it wants to play. And we get, you know, active reload is, you know, we get that torp reload anyways through readiness, which I think is easier to obtain. Did an active reload on this ship, so yeah. Now we can just do a little bit of gun farming at range. Use a speed boost. Yeah, 48 knots. But yes, with the speed boost, you can dodge a lot of things. It's 25% speed boost for speed and acceleration. So your acceleration, it just is off the charts. It's truly incredible acceleration you have for your speed. Like, you'll be going to like 48 knots with like a 6-second acceleration. Like even for Kleber, that's better, like way better than Kleber's acceleration. So yeah, with speed boost, you can be like a dodge master in this thing. Also Midway is now dropping this because I mean, to be fair, I am close to him, but you know, also U-boat may as well drop the ship. You can see the A is nothing to write home about. We shot one plane down. If you're fighting a Naki mob, you can shoot planes down on the way back, not when they're dropping you, but yeah. And you can see the acceleration. They're just normal acceleration, just nice little juke. He's using his guns. I mean, fair enough. He is in, you know, this close range. May as well use the guns. Let me just rush him. I do see the gearing. I do kind of want to kill the gearing because he will be a problem for the future. I don't know whose torps these are. I think there's Somer torps, maybe? Either way, we just keep moving forward. Try to kill this Midway. And the gearing is rushing us. Now this was a bit concerning at first because I was like, this gearing is 100% going to try to 1-for-1 Bureau rush me. Which he is. And I noticed that. And I hesitate, and then I go forward, and I was like, okay, we gotta full send it, because the only way to live is to full send it. And lo and behold, the way we live is by full sending it. Yeah, that's kind of the best way to like try to avoid that, is if you're already there and the gearing player is slow with torps like that, just full send it in, just try to hope for the best. Yeah, we killed that guy. Yeah, we will kill, we will almost, I'm pretty sure we kill almost all 3 of these ships, so yeah. This Kishima, we're going to YOLO rush. That could have been a better torp drop, but, you know, still good damage. With my last speed boost. There is, in fact, a Holland. I don't know why he's not sending torps. Maybe they're not reloaded yet. We're going to hit 1 torp, which there's a lot of damage against the Holland. I probably could have saved that extra torp too, just because knowing the damage. Now, use speed boost to dodge these torps, because what he didn't anticipate this level of acceleration. We kill that guy, and now we fight this Z52. It's an HE Z52, but we have like no HP to work with. But with AR plus and our excellent gun DPM, we could obviously just out DPM an HE Z52. I don't know what he's doing. He's eating CV torps, and there he goes. So yeah, that's Cassard. Really fun destroyer. Would highly recommend if you want a good torp focused French DD that also has really good guns, really good hybrid. Yeah, that'll be it for me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.